Alice Sands has been living with dementia for the last few years. On the whole, she copes well and still lives on her own, but the dementia does affect her.
On a day-to-day basis, words, especially if I'm nervous, and sometimes it can be words that I know perfectly well, but they just will not come into my mind, and then I'll end up doing what would you see? What would you call it? Like my mime of what I'm trying to think of.
One thing that has helped Alice a lot is doing life story work with Laura Cole, a speech and language therapist who has been involved in recent research into this approach with the University of York.
If you're doing life story work, you're really focusing on somebody's identity and therefore helping their self-esteem, and helping the person really stay connected to who they are, but also those important people in their lives.
Alice and Laura worked together to create a book about Alice's life.
Well, I thought it'd be nice for my grandchildren, really, when I thought about it properly. But at first, I just fancied the idea of doing it. Since then, having been caught up with dementia, I look at that life story and it makes me feel really good about myself by seeing me and my friend amongst the first set of pictures in the book, because we did feel like the bee's knees that day.
There's no single right way to do life story work, and the process is just as important as the end product.
It can be very useful to produce some kind of product that enables the person then to use themselves independently, that we're facilitating that process, but it's not essential, it is different for everybody.
And there are many ways that the ongoing life story work can be used, by family, by carers, and by organisations.
So, for example, within a residential home, it brings a lot more opportunity for conversation and people to form relationships. I've seen people going around showing all the other residents their book and sparking off lots of different conversations about what's in the book, and then finding that they share a lot in common, opportunities that maybe wouldn't have existed without that. I've seen it be used at home a lot with relatives who feel that they do have more to talk about and connect with, and more positive things to focus on. And also it's fantastic as well for when people have agency staff that come in to support them or facilitate them in some way, and it's a great way of getting to know the person from the beginning.
As some activities have become more difficult for Alice, the book is accessible. She can look at it whenever she wants, and so can her visitors.
When people pick it up and say, is it all right if you have a look at it, I let them have a look at it. And if they want to ask questions, they can ask questions. I don't mind.
The University of York's research has produced some good practice guidelines. 1. While a lot of people like to reminisce and share stories, not everybody does, and some people can even find it distressing. So it's important not to assume all people will want to make a life story. 2. If at all possible, the process should be led by the person living with dementia. They should decide what to include and what to leave out, and how the life story should be used. 3. The process can be emotional and may raise sensitive issues, so the helpers, professionals and family members need to be prepared, trained and supported. And finally, a life story doesn't just have to look back. It can capture the interesting things people with dementia are doing today and hope to do tomorrow.
I feel 16 again when I look at that book. And you don't get any better than that.